While everyone else is out there chasing validation, collecting friends like trophies, and exhausting themselves in shallow conversations, you're here. And that tells me something about you. You've felt it, haven't you? That deep, almost physical exhaustion that comes not from work, not from challenges, but from people, from their noise, their drama, their endless need to fill every silence with meaningless words. Welcome back to Official Sigma Male. I'm going to walk you through Chapter 6 of our series, and today we're diving into something every Sigma has experienced but rarely talks about. Why do we get tired of people? This isn't about being antisocial. This isn't about hating humanity. This is about understanding the mechanics of your own mind, a mind that operates on a completely different frequency than the rest of the world. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time. This channel is built for men like you, men who think differently, who walk their own path, and who refuse to apologize for it. Hit that subscribe button, because what you're about to learn will change how you see yourself and everyone around you. Let's begin. 1. The energy equation. Every interaction you have costs energy. This is not philosophy, this is biology. Your brain processes thousands of microsignals during every conversation. Facial expressions, tone of voice, body language, subtext, hidden intentions. For the Sigma male, this processing runs deeper than most people could ever imagine. While the average person skims the surface of social interaction, you're diving into the depths. You're analyzing. You're reading between the lines. You're detecting inconsistencies that others miss completely. You notice when someone's smile doesn't reach their eyes. You sense when words don't match intentions. You feel the energy shift in a room before anyone speaks. This is your gift, but it comes with a price that few understand. Think about the last time you were at a social gathering, a party, a work event, a family dinner, while others were laughing carelessly, drinking without thought, enjoying the simple pleasure of noise and company. Part of your mind was working overtime. You noticed who was being fake. You saw the subtle power plays happening between colleagues. You detected the insecurity hiding behind the loud voice in the corner. You observed the quiet desperation of someone seeking approval they would never directly ask for. You processed all of this automatically, whether you wanted to or not. This is not something you chose. This is how you're wired. Your brain cannot simply turn off its analytical functions because you're at a barbecue. It cannot stop reading people because you're supposed to be relaxing. The processing continues, relentlessly, draining energy with every passing minute. This is the energy equation that governs your life. Every person you interact with withdraws from your mental bank account. Some withdraw small amounts. These are the rare, authentic souls who don't require you to wear a mask, who communicate directly, who don't play games. But most people? They drain you significantly because interacting with them requires effort, translation, and often, performance. Consider this carefully. When you talk to someone who speaks in subtext, you must decode their actual meaning. When you interact with someone who hides their true feelings, you must navigate around their defenses. When you engage with someone who constantly seeks validation, you must provide emotional labor you never signed up for. Each of these processes costs energy. Each of these withdrawals adds up. The Sigma doesn't have unlimited social energy. Unlike extroverts who gain energy from crowds, who feel recharged after hours of socializing, who become depressed without constant human contact, or even alphas who feed on attention and grow stronger in the spotlight, the Sigma operates on a finite reserve. Your battery has a limit. And when that reserve depletes, exhaustion sets in. Not physical exhaustion, something deeper. A tiredness in your soul that sleep doesn't fix. A fatigue that makes you want to disappear from the world for days. You felt this. After a long day of meetings, you don't want to go out with friends. After a social weekend, you need Monday to recover. After the holidays with family, you feel like you've run a marathon without moving. This is your energy equation making itself known. Understanding this equation is the first step toward freedom. You're not broken, you're not antisocial, you're not weird or defective or missing something that others have. You simply have a sophisticated system that demands more energy to operate. A high-performance engine requires premium fuel and more maintenance. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with protecting your energy like the valuable resource it is. The world will try to make you feel guilty for this. People will call you distant, unavailable, hard to reach. Let them. They're operating on a different system with different requirements. They cannot understand your equation because they've never experienced it, and you don't owe them an explanation. 2. Surface-level interactions. Here's a truth that will resonate in your bones. Nothing exhausts a Sigma male faster than shallow conversation. How about this weather we're having? Did you watch the game last night? So, what do you do for work? Can you believe what happened on that TV show? Traffic was terrible this morning, wasn't it? These questions feel like sandpaper on your mind. Each one scrapes away a layer of your patience, your energy, your will to remain in the conversation. Not because you're arrogant, not because you think you're better than others, but because your brain is wired for depth, for meaning, for substance. When forced to operate at surface level, it's like asking a deep-sea creature to survive in a puddle. It's like asking an eagle to live in a cage. It's inefficient, it's frustrating, it's slowly killing something inside you. The average person is comfortable swimming in shallow waters their entire life. They can talk about celebrities for hours. They can gossip about neighbors without ever feeling empty. They can discuss the same mundane topics day after day, week after week, year after year, without ever asking themselves, is this all there is? But you need depth to feel alive. You crave conversations about ideas, about purpose, about the hidden mechanics of life and human nature. You want to discuss why people do what they do. You want to explore the meaning behind the mundane. You want to go beneath the surface, where the real treasures are hidden. When you're forced into surface-level exchanges, something inside you starts to shut down. It's a protective mechanism, ancient and automatic. Your mind recognizes that no meaningful exchange is going to occur, so it begins conserving energy. You become quiet. You give short answers. Your eyes lose their spark. Others interpret this as rudeness or disinterest or arrogance, but really, it's survival. You're preserving yourself because the alternative is death by 1,000 shallow cuts. Consider your workplace. How many conversations happen there that actually matter? How many meetings could have been emails? How many coffee break discussions add anything meaningful to your life or theirs? How many times have you stood by the water cooler listening to someone talk about their weekend plans, feeling your soul slowly exit your body? For most Sigmas, the answer is painfully, devastatingly close to zero. And yet, you're expected to participate. You're expected to smile. You're expected to pretend these interactions are fulfilling, that you enjoy them, that they make your day better. The cruelty of modern life is its constant demand for surface-level engagement. Open any social media platform. What do you find? Shallow comments, meaningless reactions, conversations that go nowhere. People performing happiness for an audience, content designed to capture attention for seconds before the next empty distraction. For the Sigma, this environment is toxic. It offers nothing of value while demanding constant participation. Think about the conversations that actually energize you. They're rare, aren't they? Those late-night discussions about life's big questions. Those moments when someone reveals something real about themselves. Those exchanges where masks come off and authentic connection happens. These conversations don't tire you, they fuel you. They remind you why human connection can be valuable. The problem is, they're almost impossible to find in the daily noise of surface-level interaction. This constant exposure to shallow communication is one of the primary reasons Sigmas get tired of people. It's not the people themselves, It's the quality of interaction they offer. It's the endless parade of nothing dressed up as something. It's the exhausting pretense that discussing the weather or last night's episode constitutes meaningful human connection. When you know what depth feels like, when you've tasted real conversation, swimming in shallow water becomes unbearable. You're not tired of people. You're tired of the empty versions of people that surface-level interaction creates. You're exhausted by the masks, the scripts, the predictable exchanges that lead nowhere and mean nothing. 3. The weight of expectations. Society has rules, unwritten, unspoken, but heavily enforced rules about how you should behave, what you should want, and who you should be. These rules are never formally taught, yet everyone seems to know them. Everyone seems to follow them without question. Everyone except you. For the Sigma male, these expectations land like chains wrapped around your freedom. You're expected to want what others want. Career success measured by titles and corner offices. Social success measured by popularity and party invitations. Life success measured by how well you fit into the mold that was cast before you were born. A house in the right neighborhood. A car that impresses the neighbors. A relationship that looks perfect on social media. Children who continue the cycle. Retirement that matches the brochure. Every person you encounter carries these expectations and, consciously or not, projects them onto you. They look at you through the lens of what they believe you should be doing with your life, and when you don't match that image, you can feel their confusion, their judgment, their pity, their subtle attempts to correct your course. Your family expects you to follow a certain path. When are you going to settle down? Why don't you want a promotion? Your cousin just bought a house, you know. Don't you want what we had? These questions aren't just questions, they're corrections. They're attempts to pull you back into the mold you never fit in the first place. Your co-workers expect you to play office politics, to attend happy hours, to care about company culture, to compete for recognition, to want what they want. When you don't participate in the social games they don't understand, are you shy? Are you arrogant? Are you planning something? They can't comprehend that you simply don't value what they value. Your friends expect you to be available when they need entertainment, to answer texts immediately, to make plans every weekend, to be excited about the same activities that excite them. When you decline, when you need space, when you choose solitude over their company, they take it personally. They think something is wrong. They try to fix you. Society at large expects you to constantly socialize, to network, to put yourself out there, to have a large social media following, to attend events, to be seen, to participate in the collective performance of living a good life according to someone else's definition. The weight of these expectations is crushing, and every interaction reminds you of their presence. You can't have a conversation with family without feeling the pressure to conform. You can't interact with colleagues without sensing their expectations. You can't even scroll through social media without being bombarded by images of what your life is supposed to look like. Here's what truly exhausts you: pretending these expectations align with your own desires, the performance of caring about things you don't care about, the act of wanting things you don't want, the smile you force when someone talks about their promotion as if it should inspire you to chase one yourself. Every time you nod along to life advice you'll never follow, a piece of your energy dies. Every time you attend an event out of duty rather than desire, you pay a tax that accumulates over time, compounding interest on authenticity debt. Other people don't feel this weight the same way. They've internalized society's expectations so completely that following them feels natural, even enjoyable. They genuinely want the things they're supposed to want: the house, the title, the social validation. For them, life's script is a gift, not a cage. It tells them what to do, what to want, what to pursue. It gives them direction and purpose and a sense of progress. But the Sigma stands outside this system, watching it operate, aware of its arbitrary nature. You see that the rules were invented, that the expectations were manufactured, that the right way to live is simply one option among infinite possibilities. This awareness is enlightening, but it's also isolating and exhausting. You know too much to play along happily, but you're still required to play. The people around you don't understand why you don't want what they want. They interpret your difference as defiance or failure or mental illness. They try to pull you into line through pressure, through guilt, through constant reminders of what you should be doing with your life. You're wasting your potential. You could be so successful if you just tried. Don't you want to be normal? Each of these pulls drains you further. Each reminder is another weight added to the burden. You get tired of people because people are the vehicles through which expectations are delivered. Every conversation carries the potential for another reminder that you're not living according to the script. Every interaction might become another moment where you have to defend your choices, explain your values, or simply endure silent judgment. And defending your autonomy against these constant assaults, whether spoken or felt, is exhausting work that never ends. The Sigma's tiredness isn't weakness. It's the natural result of carrying a weight that others don't even see. It's what happens when you're forced to constantly resist a current that everyone else flows with effortlessly. It's the price of consciousness in a world that rewards conformity. 4. Authenticity fatigue. There's a mask you wear. You might not want to admit it, but it's there. When you interact with most people, you're not showing them the real you. You're showing them a carefully calibrated version designed to navigate social situations with minimum friction. This mask is necessary. If you showed most people your true thoughts, your real observations, your actual opinions, they wouldn't understand. Worse, they would judge, they would label, they would try to fix you or change you or exclude you. So you learned early to present a more acceptable version of yourself to the world. But here's the cost of the mask. Every second you wear it drains your energy. Authenticity is your natural state. When you're alone, when you're with the rare person who truly gets you, you feel recharged because you can simply be. No filtering. No translation, no performance, just existence in your purest form. Now, contrast this with every other interaction. You're constantly monitoring yourself. Was that too direct? Should I pretend to care about this story? Do I need to smile now to seem normal? This internal monitoring runs like a background program, using processing power you don't consciously notice until you're suddenly exhausted. The Sigma gets tired of people because people require inauthenticity to tolerate. The more people you interact with, the longer you wear the mask. The longer you wear the mask, the further you drift from yourself. And when you've drifted too far, exhaustion hits like a wave. Think about the relief you feel when you finally close your door at the end of a social day. That relief isn't just about silence. It's about removing the mask. It's about returning to yourself after hours of performing someone slightly different. This is authenticity fatigue, and it's one of the heaviest prices the Sigma pays for living in a world designed for different minds. 5. The need for mental sovereignty. Your mind is your kingdom. For the Sigma male, there's nothing more valuable than mental sovereignty, the freedom to think your own thoughts, undisturbed by outside noise. Every person you interact with attempts to enter your mental space. They bring their opinions, their problems, their perspectives, their energy. Some of this is valuable, most of it is not, and even the valuable parts come at the cost of mental bandwidth. Consider what happens when you spend a day surrounded by people. Their voices echo in your mind even after they're gone. Their problems become your problems, not because you chose to adopt them, but because proximity forced them into your awareness. Their energy, whether positive or negative, lingers in your mental space like smoke in a closed room. The Sigma needs clean mental space to function optimally. This is where you do your best thinking. This is where your ideas develop. This is where you plan, strategize, and create. When this space is constantly invaded by others, your effectiveness diminishes, your clarity fades, your sense of self becomes blurred. People tire you because they compromise your sovereignty. Every interaction is a small invasion, and while individual invasions might be manageable, the cumulative effect is overwhelming. You end up feeling like you haven't had a complete thought in days because there's always someone else's voice in your head. This is why solitude feels so essential to you. It's not about hiding from the world, it's about reclaiming your territory. When you're alone, you can finally hear your own thoughts again. You can process, integrate, and create without interference. The relief of solitude is the relief of sovereignty restored. Most people don't understand this need because they don't experience their mind as a space to be protected. They're comfortable with constant mental traffic, with voices and opinions flowing through without boundaries. But you feel every intrusion, and this sensitivity is both your strength and your burden. 6. Strategic withdrawal. Now we arrive at the solution. Understanding why people tire you is important, but knowledge without action changes nothing. The Sigma male must master the art of strategic withdrawal. This is not running away. This is not weakness. This is the intelligent management of your most valuable resource, your energy and attention. Strategic withdrawal means creating deliberate boundaries between yourself and the social world. It means choosing when to engage and when to retreat based on your own needs rather than others' expectations. It means saying no without guilt and stepping back without explanation. Here's how this works in practice. You assess every social commitment before accepting it. You ask yourself, will this add to my life, or will it simply drain me? You become ruthless in protecting your time and energy. Not cruel, not rude, but absolutely firm. You create recovery periods after necessary social exposure. If you have to attend a work event, you schedule solitude afterward. If you spend a day with others, you spend the evening alone. This rhythm of engagement and withdrawal keeps your energy balanced. You also curate your social circle with extreme intentionality. The Sigma doesn't need many connections, but the connections he keeps must be high quality. These are people who don't require your mask, people who understand your need for depth, people who give energy rather than only taking it. Finding these rare individuals and protecting those relationships becomes a priority. Most importantly, strategic withdrawal means releasing guilt. Society will try to make you feel bad for protecting yourself. You'll be called antisocial, weird, distant, cold. Let these labels fall away. They come from people who don't understand your operating system, and you don't owe them an explanation. The Sigma who masters strategic withdrawal stops fighting against his nature and starts working with it. He stops feeling broken for needing solitude and starts seeing this need as the simple requirement of his high-performance mind. He stops getting drained to zero and starts maintaining a healthy reserve. You now understand what most people never will. The reason you get tired of people isn't a flaw to fix, it's a feature to understand. Your sophisticated mind processes social interactions at a depth others can't comprehend. Surface-level conversations waste your capacity. Society's expectations burden your autonomy. The masks you wear distance you from yourself. And your need for mental sovereignty means every interaction has a cost. But now you also have the tool, strategic withdrawal, the deliberate, unapologetic management of your social energy. The boundaries that protect your inner kingdom, the permission to honor your nature instead of fighting it. This is what separates the Sigma who thrives from the Sigma who merely survives. Not the knowledge of why he's different, but the action of building a life that respects that difference. If this content resonated with you, If you felt seen and understood, then you belong here. Subscribe to Official Sigma Male if you haven't already. We're building something here, a community of men who think deeper, live more deliberately, and refuse to apologize for their nature. The path of the Sigma isn't easy, but it's yours. And that makes it worth walking. Until next time.